that you said that, this was done, the images that you took were sort of secondary.
So what we've done now, since MRO is continuing to investigate what the problems are, is we have shifted. We have shifted our definition of which is the AM pass and which is the PM pass, such that each of the passes that we choose for those two activities during the Martian sol will be Odyssey, since we know that Odyssey's radio has no issues at this point, while the MRO team works in the background to find out what's going on with their radio. Once we have established a good understanding of what the radio situation is, and it's what we would call reliable again, we'll go back to our nominal sequence.
We looked at the Martian terrain to the northwest. We're going to look from the lander panning up to the sky. At the very bottom right of what we're about to see, we're getting close to, but not in the robotic arm workspace. Although this is an area that in test circumstances we have used as a place to dump material. The robotic arm can't dig here, but we can potentially dump stuff.
But this is a contingency that we had always planned for. As we said prior to landing, we had always identified the fact that we could operate this mission with either of the two spacecraft, and as it stands now, we're in fine shape. So bottom line is we're all doing well. The vehicle's doing well. We did good operations on the surface yesterday. We've uplinked the sequence this morning. And hopefully by tomorrow we'll be able to show you some deployed or partially deployed robotic arm images.
We haven't made that decision. There's a trough running across the bottom here that connects with the trough in the workspace, and then a polygon that's coming into view on the top, sort of splitting actually into left and right. And then as we get further out, we're starting to see more of these. These are connecting with the polygons that we see in the MRO images, but the team hasn't finished really mapping all of these together. So I think that's work that will be shown in the near future. We also collected 2 more big rock sightings. So the small number of rocks you heard about is real. There aren't very many big rocks in that image or any of the others.
I believe the earliest that we might be digging would be at the early to mid part of next week. However, we're going to take our time. The way things are looking relative to our energy on the vehicle, we're looking very good. We have more power than we had anticipated at this point of the mission. We're not going to rush anything. We're going to be very deliberate in our steps. Bob showed you all the steps we're taking today. We've divided the deployment of the robotic arm into 2 sols. We'll start it today, complete it tomorrow. We're going to take our time just to make sure that we do it right. So if it doesn't get done early part of next week, please be patient with us. We are going to do it.
This workspace is actually a very big deal for us. There's a limited area that we can actually access with the robotic arm and sample into the instruments. This area is a place that contains exactly what we were looking for in this mission. We have polygons that were formed by the action related to the ice that's under the surface. We have troughs in between those polygons, and they're all in a great area for us to dig. Now that said, I'm very optimistic about that. We're still investigating these things. We don't know everything there is to know about them. So as we pan through the workspace here, we're looking at an area, like I said, potentially where we might dump, and now we're panning in, getting closer into an area where the robotic arm can actually do its operations.